Recording in progress.
Okay, well, I should take a look at it. All right.
Anyway.
Everybody ready? All right. All right, it being just a little past the hour at 5 p.m., I will now call the special meeting of the Federal Way City Council meeting to order. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, welcome everybody. Now, we had this scheduled as a budget meeting. I think that we have had some very productive budget discussions to date, but I wanted to make sure, we all wanted to make sure, the council and the agenda setting team wanted to ensure that council had any questions answered. But before we get into that, Steve, you want to do like a brief overview?
Be my pleasure. Theme of this budget has been coming out of economic uncertainty and COVID and whatever else. I really do think this is a great graphic. There we go. And I've got the wrong, that's for the levy. I need the budget study session. I'll do this, I apologize. Here we go. Here we are in the process. We have had quite a few meetings, and we are now close to the finish line. Today is October 18th. We have a workshop right now at 5 o'clock, and then at the 6:30 regular meeting, we will be having 2 public hearings, and then we'll go forward to November 1st to the final hearing on the budget, and the 15th is when we adopt. Where we are, we started with the mayor's proposed budget, and we have had a few study sessions and some discussions. So we have had some proposed additions. They are now in the book that you have in front of you, and depending on whether we make any further changes, we will get this posted to the website with plenty of time prior to adoption. So what is in your book right now, in front of you is what is currently what we think will be the adopted budget. In the mayor's proposed budget, we had some things that were really worth bragging about. We have a 3.5% cost of living increase built in. We added into the budget the 13 police officers and the 3 support staff. We consider that an addition because that was not in the previous biennium's budget. We added increases for vehicle replacement. We also absorbed some insurance cost increases and some jail cost increases, and these are just the biggest pieces, which I know that you all are familiar with. Over the last few study sessions, we have, now how do I move that? I don't know how to move that. There. Over the last few study sessions, we had some proposals to add some increased costs for neighborhood traffic safety, a police officer wellness program, increased shopping cart. I'm missing a word there. It's an initiative, it's a program, it's $250,000 worth of budgetable expense that management and staff can then deploy. We also added some funds for school zone flasher upgrades, some council travel and administrative support, some senior commission printing, and that brings us to what we currently have, and this is the Exhibit A as it currently stands, that would be behind the ordinance when we bring it to you on November 1st. This would have the blue boxes show the expenditures that would then be authorized in 2023 and 2024. And very importantly, all of the little numbers that are circled fund by fund are the fund balance policy floors that we cannot go below. So there's always a hard stop by policy for our for our fund balances and for our budgeting. So we're budgeting a balanced budget. The revenues and the expenses that we have projected for both of the years of the biennium do end up giving us the fund balances that we need to make sure that we retain. So the options, as we go into discussion, are plan to adopt it as is, if you like, make changes, swapping in and out because it is balanced. And there's always, of course, adding to the first quarter waiting list, and I consider that, we're going to do that anyway because every budget I have ever seen adopted, even before we even adopt, something is going to happen in the real world. Somebody's going to find something in a department that's an urgent need. We'll need to do some course correction, and so as you know, we do come to you, I hope about quarterly. If we have new grants that are approved, that would bring us new revenue and new offsetting expense. So we're going to do that anyway. You could also remove anything that would create savings. I would take the savings. And then, of course, you can also provide further direction. Today, we've got, at the next hour, a tax levy hearing and a first budget hearing. And on November 1st, we have a second budget hearing, and then we have the introduction of ordinances. So that's what's left. That's my lead into discussion. This is your time. Staff is here to help you answer questions.
All right, Deputy Mayor?
Thank you. I was listening to a council meeting in which we were discussing the maintenance yard for parks and public safety, and we were talking about a security fence around the current yard until the new yard is built, and it was the estimated cost was about $700,000 according to EJ. And I know several council members seemed in favor of doing that. Is that in this budget?
It is not. I don't have funding for that. We would have to take something out to make that happen.
Because we felt that it would save money long-term. Was that not something you thought, EJ, that you should put into your budget?
So the direction we received was to go get quotes and come back. We've gotten 2 quotes. We're still working on getting a third. The cheap quote's about $200 a foot, so that price is pretty close. But we're still working on the council homework from that meeting of getting all the quotes so we can actually have the discussion. So in short, no, it's not in there since we don't have the information council requested.
It's a large item to put into a budget later, so
True, but that's a very good example of what we have to capture, even if it's not in the budget. We need to capture, prioritize as we go through course correcting.
thank you.
As a follow-up to that, is there any, has there been any cost-benefit analysis in regard to hiring security officers as opposed to the fencing, what that would cost out to over the night?
Not recently. We, at one point, did have pure security, the same security that is downstairs for the courts out there. Historically, that stopped in 2013, 2014. It was part of the budget cuts, was cutting that security. We can certainly look at it, but no, it's not something we looked at going back to at this point.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get some quotes on that in comparison to and run a cost-benefit analysis, because I'm not sure we want to spend almost $750,000 for a fence that, in a short period of time, of course, it just depends. Deputy Mayor?
So when you had the security there, did you have theft and break-ins at night?
Not anywhere near what we do now, no.
It could, when you're looking at getting quotes for the fencing, could it be something that could be moved over to the new yard?
That is what we looked at.
Okay.
So it's, in short, it's basically the same system that's downstairs for the police department cars. So the panels could come out and be reused. The posts would effectively be disposable, but the high cost of it could be reused.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Council, any other questions? Okay.
We're going to be having a hearing, and I know we're looking forward to hearing from the public.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Let's see here. We have executive session for 2 items, collective bargaining pursuant to RCW 4230-1404B, and pending litigation pursuant to RCW 4230-1101I. What are we thinking, about a half hour, 30 minutes? That's right. Okay. Estimated length of 20 to 30. 20 minutes? Okay. Okay, we'll be in recess for that purpose. Thank you.